Hey people, welcome and welcome back again to my channel, guys. How you guys doing? Welcome and welcome back again. Guys, how you doing this beautiful Friday night? It really rained cats and dogs today, and it was a real hassle, guys. I hope the rain wasn't too much in your side. So welcome back again to my channel. It's me, your girl Edochie, and you're welcome back again to another live stream with me. uh Guys, today we are going to be talking about uh the ex-lawyer, and I use that lawyer loosely in quotes, of Miss May Edochie. So he went on a podcast and he had a lot of things to say. Some were fully biased, some were half truths, and some were obvious smear campaigns. If you're someone with a discerning spirit, you will understand why I say so. So I listened to that podcast. Although that podcast with car truths, it was very hard for me to listen to, but I tried to listen with an open mind so that I would give a fair analysis of everything that Emeka Ugwuonye said in that podcast. And after listening, I found out that of a truth, this man, all what he was saying were coming from a place of hurt, a place of mischief, a place of envy, a place of a smear campaign orchestrated against me, Edochie. And so I decided that, okay, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to counter his opinion with some facts as seen on social media. Guys, everything I'm saying here, it is how things happened on social media. Remember that all this happened in our eyes, happened in our view on social media. It was not something that people will say they did not know about when it was happening. If you're on social media during that period, you can very much attest that Emeka Ugwuonye was not really entirely true about what he was saying. So guys, as you come in, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell, and chat with me in the box so that we can rub minds together and see that we keep the ministry going. So without further ado, guys, let's start. So Emeka Ugwuonye, let me give a background story for those people who don't know who this man is. Emeka Ugwuonye, I have come to find out after all this smear campaign against May Edochie, Emeka Ugwuonye is a disbarred lawyer. A disbarred lawyer both in Nigeria and abroad, I think the US. So Emeka Ugwuonye, if you put his name on social media, you can see a whole lot of his rap sheet. There is no need to start talking about the atrocities that Emeka Ugwuonye has done. So I'm going to leave that to you if you're interested. If you really want to know who the person Emeka Ugwuonye is, you can go on social media, even Google. Just a quick search on Google will show you the kind of person that Emeka Ugwuonye is. So it is appalling that such a man was even, found in the mix of the May Nation. And guys, I want to put a disclaimer here. I am not a May Nation fan. I am not part of the May Nation. I am just a neutral person that saw how everything unfolded on social media in 2022. I saw it, and initially I wanted to take a very, very lax stand, a neutral stand. But when everything started happening against May Edochie, I decided that of a truth, there are some people involved in this who are complicit. So, guys, give this video a big thumbs up as you come on in. So, like I mentioned, Emeka Ogwonye is a disbarred lawyer, both Nigeria and abroad. According to his rap sheets, he's involved also in blackmail and a lot of atrocities. And Emeka Ogwonye came into May Nation not as May's lawyer, because we found out that he was not May's official lawyer. Emeka Ogwonye, as a disbarred lawyer, cannot practice in Nigeria and he cannot practice abroad. Now, this man decided to support May when everything was happening. And he came with a strategy. He opened up a WhatsApp group and he was urging women, those women that are part of May Nation that were supporting May, he was urging them to be paying some fees to him. When May Edochie found out that this was his modus operandi of using her name to be duping other people, May told him to back off. And from that day, that word that May told Emeka Ogwonye to back off and stop using her name to scam people, that was how Emeka Ogwonye hated me and turned against me and decided to come out on social media saying that he was no longer interested and involved in the May Edochie's case. He washed his hands off, but behind continued with his smear campaign against May Edochie. So that is just a quick background on who Emeka Ogwonye is. Now he talked about May Nation formation. He said that May Nation are a group of women who are bitter and who want to, make sure that Judy and you are brought down. Guys, I beg to differ here. Before we can say anything about, let us talk how May Nation started. May Nation started after the fact. And what I mean by that is that when the news of you, Edochie, and Judy's infidelity broke out, remember that we saw it on social media. I, for myself, I saw it on social media. When this lover posted online and you, Edochie, quickly came out to debunk. So, May Edochie, when she saw that, the only comment she left in that post was that may God judge you people. That was what she said. That was what she said. And that is what have been working against these two people. So when May found out about all this going on, she was very disappointed in you, Edochie, because by that time, Judy Austin had already put to bed. Judy Austin has already given birth to her first child with you, Edochie. So May now knew that the game was no longer the same anymore. She decided to leave the marriage. Meanwhile, Edochie was already begging the wife, begging her that she should accept polygamy, that he was a polygamous man. And people were like saying that no, that is not how to do polygamy. You cannot just blindside your wife and all of a sudden when you're caught cheating, you now decided to turn it that you are now a polygamist. It doesn't work that way. So May strongly rejected polygamy, and that was May's crime against Edochie. Edochie's ego was hurt. Edochie became vengeful. Then he decided to start mocking Edochie, taunting Edochie by dancing with Judy Austin, coming out every day, every Eke market day, dancing on the social media space. And then when May lost her first child, her first son, I beg you, Edochie did not really mourn his child, especially on social media. As seen on social media, everything I'm talking about is based on the information that we saw on social media. Edochie still came out on social media barely 2 weeks after the passing of his son. He was dancing. He was dancing with Judy Austin. And people were appalled, saying, come on, man, you just lost a child. What are you still dancing about? Won't you mourn your son? Judy came out on social media and she was blasting the people that were talking that people grieve differently. So when all these shenanigans were happening, a group of women and people, good people, stood up for May Edochie. Those were the people that are now known as the May Nation. So May Nation did not start because May said she doesn't want polygamy. No, they started after Yul and Judy decided to be mocking May and doing quite a whole lot against her just because she said she doesn't want polygamy. So that was how May Nation formed, and that was the beginning of that movement. So Emeka Ugonye's biased view and smear campaign against May Edochie is one that people should not overlook. This is a man, because he was stopped from scamming people with May's name, decided to go on a smear campaign talking bad against her, trying to paint May Edochie as the villain. No, May Edochie is not the villain in this story. She was the person that was wronged. She was blindsided by her husband. She was betrayed by her husband. She, was disgraced online. Guys, everybody could see what happened. If you're someone who is truthful and is not a biased person and a hater, you will see that of a truth, May Edochie was the person that was wronged here. She was the person that was made fun of. She was the person that was even laughed at. Was there anything that you did not say to her? Even when he was body shaming her about her boobs, that she had gone to do plastic surgery without telling her husband? The man said a lot of things. How many are we going to talk? Just a quick search on social media, you're going to see everything that this man did against me, trying to bring her down. But the woman picked up herself from her pieces and she moved and forged ahead. And that is their pain up to today. Because the way they had expected May Edochie to lay flat on the floor, to be so weak that she could not stand up, the opposite was what they saw. They saw a woman who picked the pieces of her life and decided to stay strong for herself and her children, bagging endorsements, left, right, center, doing a whole lot for herself and making a name for herself. The way that they expected her to turn, it did not turn that way. And now they are very, very disappointed. So the death of Kambili, sparked a whole lot. It changed the trajectory of things for people. When all this started, there were some people that were very neutral. I was neutral. I was of the opinion that, of a truth, you betrayed his wife and he had a baby on his wife, and I was in support of any decision that May wanted to take. If she wanted to forgive him and continue with the marriage, or if she wanted to divorce him and go her separate ways. So I was, I was fine with whatever decision she wanted to take. But when her son passed, when Kambili passed, and Yul and Judy, especially Judy, came out on social media singing that Chukwu love Ukaya, and singing that God loves her so much, and how she's a winner, winner, oh. This was the song that Judy was singing barely 2 weeks after the death of Kambili Chukwu. This was the song that she was singing, that God loves her so much. A song of mockery, mocking the pain of a mother who was grieving her child. That was the event that sealed their fate. I was like, no matter what. And that was when I started looking at these people with another side of eyes. So I believe that there are also some people that decided that after that incident, that these people know they really wronged me, Edochie. So Emeka Ugwuonye saying that May should have come out after after the death of Kambili, that she should have come out to tell the public that it was not Judy Austin that killed her child, that her child died of natural causes. I find that very preposterous, because that was a grieving mother who left social media. May left social media at least for 6 months. At least for 6 months to mourn her child. She does not owe Judy any loyalty or any goodwill to come out and tell the populace and the people that she was not the one that killed her child, that it was natural causes. The strategy of May have always been silence, and that is why she has been winning, because the way some people expected her to behave, she didn't behave that way. She didn't behave that way at all. So they don't have the right to tell her that she should come out and defend Judy. As what? Defend Judy, the same Judy that came out on social media and was dancing and saying that Chukwu love Kaya. Is it the same person that she's going to defend? That is very wrong. So in everything that Emeka Ugwuonye was saying, Emeka Ugwuonye did not present any evidence to back up his claim. He did not present any evidence. He was just talking, and everything he was doing was a smear campaign against May Edochie. Emeka Ugwuonye said that May wanted the matter of social media, and that was the truth. May wanted the issue of social media. She even pleaded with her ex-husband now, Yul Edochie, that they should take their matter off social media. They should not leave the whole thing to the scrutiny of people. But did her husband listen? No. That was when Yul and Judy Austin intensified their foolery on social media. That was when they intensified their foolery on social media. Their thinking then was that because Yul was the popular one, then he would gain a lot of support. But they did not know that the actions that they were putting on, the dance of shame they were putting on, made a lot of people to disengage from them. So that was why they fell flat. Now, guys, I put down some notes. I put down some notes because I didn't want to miss anything that Emeka Ugwuonye was saying. Now, Emeka Ugwuonye was trying so hard in that podcast to paint Judy Austin as the victim. And he said that May knew about the relationship between Judy and Yul earlier. Guys, I would not want to say that May did not know about uh guys, okay, let me rephrase it this way. I would not want to say that May did not know that Edochie was cheating. Guys, I don't want to believe that. She may not have known that it was Judy Austin, but I want to believe that a woman who is in a marriage with her husband would, to some extent, notice behavioral changes in him and notice when he is changing and cheating on her. So I want to believe that May knew that probably you was cheating, but if she knew whether you was cheating with Judy Austin, that is what I don't know for a fact. So apart from that, Emeka Ogwuonye trying to paint Judy Austin as the victim in this situation, it's a very, very biased and very evil view, because Judy Austin is not the victim here. Judy Austin did a whole lot. She did a whole lot against May Edochie. Remember, her friend Sarah Martins exposed the plans of Judy Austin and even the evil doings she was doing underground, pitting May Edochie against her husband, trying to, rub mud on her face. And most of the publications that were coming out on social media at that time, Sarah Martins alleged that Judy Austin was the one behind the scene orchestrating all that. So Judy Austin is not the victim here. Another reason why I say Judy Austin is not the victim here is that Judy Austin knew that Yul Edochie was a married man. She went ahead and cheated, and had an affair. I will not say cheated now. She had an affair. So I will continue. So guys, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me in the stream. I think we lost the connection there. Okay, I think we are back now. Okay, I think we are back. So like I was saying before that connection went off, Judy Austin is not the victim here at all. She's not the victim, because Judy Austin knew that Yul Edochie was a married man, and she still went ahead to cheat. You might say that Yul Edochie was the one that owed his wife loyalty. But apart from that, Judy Austin knew what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was not the victim at all in this. So now, Emeka Ogwuonye was describing May Edochie as the bully in this situation. Guys, that was all lies. May Edochie is not the bully. Judy Austin was mocking May, especially after the death of Kambili Chukwu. She was taunting May. But with all this woman did not pay her any mind at all. So how can she turn around now with all that we saw on social media and what we all saw clearly? How can Judy Austin turn around now and become the victim? She is not the victim in this situation. So I put it to Emeka Ogwonye that his opinions were all biased opinions. Now, Emeka Ogwonye also stated that the marriage between May Edochie and Yul was broken and was having some problems, and that those problems was what made the marriage to break, and that Judy Austin was not at fault. Guys, there are no marriages that do not have issues. So I would not want to entirely excuse that. Yes, they might have had issues in their marriage, but we, the public, we did not know about that initially. So if they had those issues and they were working to settle those issues, then you stepping out on his marriage and going to Judy Austin, impregnating her, was that a solution to the problems they were having? Wouldn't it have been better for you to come back home, be with his wife, reason out things together, and try to work on his marriage with his wife? Wouldn't that be the better option, instead of going out and having another woman on the side? So on that, Emeka Ogwonye was very, very much biased. Emeka Ogwonye also made some assertions that May Edochie is the convener of the malicious vlogs, Judy Austin Autism. He said that without any proof. How was he able to know that May was the person that was operating that blog, Judy Austin Autism? How was he able to know? What was his evidence? He didn't put anyone out. So I think that Emeka Ogwonye, everything he said about me was just negative. And that was where I knew that his opinion and his view was flawed. So he talked about the bullying that May Nation is accused of. There are some times that I may not entirely agree with the actions of some people in May Nation, how extreme they might go sometimes. But if Emeka Ogwonye is calling out the bullying that he said May Nation is perpetrating, he shouldn't also forget himself, because he is also bullying May Edochie, writing a lot of defamatory write-ups on social media, and other supporters of Judy Austin are also writing defamatory, things, using May's image as caricature. So if it's that aspect of bullying, although I'm not in support of that, but I think that both parties in this thing are guilty of that, and that is where I will drop it. Now, he called May Nation a mob, but can you believe that these people that said they are supporters of Judy Austin are also bullying May Edochie, even they wished Daniela Yul Edochie, wishing her death. So that's why I said that in this bullying claim, these two factions of people are the ones bullying themselves. The May Nation, responding to bullies from the other side, the supporters of Judy Austin, and vice versa. Guys, no one is innocent in that bullying aspect. So now we move on to Yinka and her interference in all of this. Yinka Thiessen, who was the ex-girlfriend of Link Edochie. That Link Edochie is also Yul Edochie's elder brother. So Yinka Thiessen was in a relationship with Edochie, and that relationship did not last long. The relationship did not last long because Yinka Thyssen was bent on antagonizing Edochie. Now, Yinka Thyssen antagonizing Edochie, saying quite a whole lot about her. And what is the genesis of all this? According to the story we saw on social media, Edochie had some issues, some technical issues she wanted to deal with. So she contacted her brother-in-law, Edochie, to help her with that. Edochie then told May that he has somebody that can help her with those technical glitch. And that somebody was Yinka Thyssen. He did not tell May Edochie that Yinka Thyssen was his girlfriend. When May found out that Yinka Thyssen was his girlfriend, May was no longer comfortable with the situation. She decided to cut off. That was her offense with Yinka Thyssen. Yinka Thyssen hated the guts of May Edochie. She started antagonizing May, saying quite a whole lot of things, inserting herself in the matter of Edochie and May, which she's not a party of. And that was how May Nation went against Yinka Thyssen. Then Yinka Thyssen came out and started urging that May should speak to her May Nation, her supporters. When that did not happen, Yinka Thyssen went berserk, antagonizing, defaming, say a whole lot. At some point, she even released the phone number of May Edochie. So, Yinka Thyssen, her actions preceded her. And that was what made Edochie to break off the relationship that did not even last a whole month. He broke it up. And that was Yinka Thyssen's anger against May, saying that it was May and her May Nation that broke up her relationship with Edochie. How can she tell May to talk to May Nation? It's just like telling Beyonce to caution her fan base, the Beehive. How is that possible? How many people is she going to talk to? Did she know them by face? That's the same thing with this May Nation. How do you want May Nation to start May to start addressing May Nation? It will look to the public as if she's the one, she's the convener of that. And that is also one of the things that Emeka Ogwonye accused her of. We are coming to that. So now, Emeka Ogwonye said that May Nation, that May controls the May Nation. And like I explained, May does not have control over May Nation. I don't even think that she knows them. How many people are you going to talk about? How can she control people? She cannot control them. And like I said earlier, her strategy has been silence. So they should not be expecting her to still be coming out to address whatever. She has not even addressed issues about herself, not to talk of addressing issues about other people. So May Edochie, I'm sure, that she won't respond to those claims of Emeka Ogwonye saying that she is the convener and she controls May Nation. Now, for you, Edochie, that Emeka Ogwonye was praising, I laughed when I saw that. So, Edochie is not innocent in all this. Guys, I put it to you that Edochie, he lost a rare gem in May Edochie. You never wanted May to divorce him. You never wanted to leave May Edochie. He wanted to eat his cake and have it. That was why he was proposing polygamy. He wanted May Edochie, and he also wanted Judy Austin. But because May said that she will not be numbered, she doesn't want polygamy, she's not interested in polygamy, Yul was annoyed at the audacity that May showed. He was annoyed that a woman who he had been able to manipulate for a very long time could stand her ground on this one thing and draw a very clear and solid boundary that she was not going to be numbered, and she maintained it. So Yu was really annoyed, and that was why he started attacking May Edochie. But before that, Yul apologized publicly to May Edochie, even begging her that Judy Austin was a mistake and he doesn't want May to go. He doesn't want May to leave him. He apologized publicly. But when he found out and realized that May Edochie was not willing to go through with polygamy with him, he became very upset and annoyed at her ego and audacity. And that was how he started antagonizing her with Judy, taunting her and doing a lot. Even to the point that Yul Edochie wrote that the year that his son passed was the best year he had. Imagine. That was what a father had the mind to say. So sad. So sad. Now, with the way Emeka Ogwuonye was painting May Edochie, if May Edochie was that much of a bad person like Emeka Ogwuonye was painting, why would May Edochie's in-laws, Pete Edochie, come out on social media to publicly acknowledge that May was one of his best daughter-in-laws and that she was the one that was holding the family together, and that she is a very intelligent woman and the glue that was holding that family? If May was really that bad person that Emeka Ogwuonye was trying so hard to paint bad and to make the villain, would her in-laws come out to support her, solidly behind her? Even up to today, her in-law Rita Edochie is still solidly behind May, supporting her every win and fighting for her, being her defender. May's in-laws, her brother's in-laws, they are all solidly behind her. Her father-in-law, mother-in-law, solidly behind her. So if she was that much of a bad person, would that happen? I believe that you guys know your answer. On the other hand, for Judy Austin's allies, I talked about Sarah Martins earlier, they've all fallen out with her because of her character. When Sarah Martin fell out with Judy Austin, she came out on social media to say a whole lot and to reveal that all those smear campaigns against May Edochie, that most of them were orchestrated and planned behind the scenes by Judy Austin. Even Judy Austin's ex-husband, Mr. Obasi, he had a whole lot to say about Judy Austin during the podcast he had. Guys, I have made a review of that. You can go down in my playlist and watch it for yourself. When Mr. Obasi said a whole lot about Judy Austin, how she did him wrong and is still doing him wrong by withholding his children from him. So on the other hand, Judy Austin's allies, most of them have nothing good to say about Judy Austin. So now, Emeka Ogwuonye was also insinuating that Yul was pressured to get married to May Edochie. And guys, we've heard from you in his interviews and podcasts. We've also heard from me. These were two people who fell in love and decided to build a family together until everything fell apart. So on that regard, Emeka Ogonye was being biased in his statements. And now, Emeka Ogonye was also saying that May Edochie was the one putting the children against their father. And guys, I was like, what does this man mean by saying all these things? Is he living in the same house that May Edochie is living in? Is he living in the same house that, the family was living when the marriage was still ongoing? How is it able to say all these things without any proof? And now I found out that Emeka Ogonye was really, really biased in his statements. Because these children were no longer so small when all this were happening. At least Daniela, the eldest daughter, she was already in the university. So they knew and they saw the role that their father played. And you cannot tell the children anything about that. They saw everything happen. If we, the online in-laws, are seeing this happen on social media and some of us are triggered, how much more those people that are living the experience? So I believe that these children are not being put against their father. Instead, it is for the father to put in a lot of work to try and appease his children and family because he really offended them. Let's call a spade a spade. You really offended his family. He needs to go back, do what's right. He needs to do what's right. So I don't want to believe that May Edochie is the one putting the children against the father. No. I don't want to believe that. So in my own humble submission, you knows the right thing to do. And I urge him to do the right thing. You've already made the mistake. You've decided that you want to continue to be with Judy. If that is your decision, you, Edochie, does it also mean that you will not take care of your children that you had with May? You still need to do your fatherly duties over there. Don't neglect them and come and start crying that their mother turned them against you. That is not true. So now, with everything that Emeka Ogonye was saying, I can say that this is just a smear campaign full of hate, full of evil, full of envy and bias. And that I am very happy that May has taken legal actions against her detractors, Emeka Ogonye and Yinka Tyson. She filed a lawsuit against them, suing for 1.5 billion naira. So I hope that justice take its course. Guys, let's quickly have a look. Yes, let's quickly have a look at the suit, the lawsuit that May Edochie filed, as seen on Linda Nkeji's blog. As seen on Linda Nkeji's blog, guys. Let's just take a read. Okay, this is it now. I read. May Edochie files 1.5 billion naira lawsuits against Yinka Tyson, her former lawyer, and others over alleged defamation and release of private information online. May Edochie, the estranged wife of actor Edochie, has dragged the ex-girlfriend of Link Edochie, Yinka Omolola, her former lawyer, Emeka Ugwuonyi, and other unidentified social media users before the Lagos State High Court over alleged cyberbullying, defamation, and online harassment. According to the court filing, May has asked the court to order the removal of the social media accounts and posts she claims were used to target her person and malign her character. She prayed the court to grant an order compelling social media platforms to release the identification to release the identity to assist with investigation. Guys, I can't really see that word. In a 126 paragraph affidavit filed in support of the suit, May alleged that she had been subjected to sustained online attacks over several years by the defendants and operators of multiple blogs and Facebook pages. She alleged that the publications contained false accusations, manipulated photographs, insulting caricatures, AI-generated images, death wishes, and other materials intended to ridicule her and damage her reputation. She further alleged that despite serving legal notices on some of the defendants in 2025, demanding the removal of the publications, the alleged attacks against her person have continued, and new social media pages have been created to continue the attacks on her. The claimant also accused one of the defendants, whom she identified as her former lawyer, of disclosing confidential information she had released to him during the course of legal representation and publishing materials she described as defamatory and misleading. May is seeking 1 billion naira in damages from Ugwuonyi, 500 million from Yinka Tesin, and court orders directing social media platforms to identify and disclose information about anonymous account operators behind the alleged campaign. Justice Abdulrahim Tejumade Muhyiddin has directed that court processes be served across all known contact channels for the defendants. And the case, the matter has been adjourned for a service report. Guys, that is the news reported as by Linda Ikeji, that May has filed a lawsuit against her detractors. And guys, I think that is a very good move. If you see what these people are doing on social media, especially Facebook, saying a whole lot about May, concocting stories, try everything they can to bring this woman down. The annoyance was, why should she bounce back after all that has been done to her? They expected her to be down forever. But they are not God. They don't get to be the one to say the final words on her. And they are very, very angry that May Edochie has been winning. So I'm happy that she has decided to take legal actions against these ones that are known. Let them come and face their day in court. How people can be so wicked that they will prefer to make the truth become lie, to turn black into white by doing whatever, by changing the narrative. This was something that happened on social media in the full glare of the public. The disgrace that you disgraced his wife. And in all this, the woman has still maintained poise. She has still maintained class by not bantering words and exposing their dirty linen in public, remaining silent for peace to reign. Yet, these wicked people do not want peace to reign. You Edochie that was laughing and dancing on social media, celebrating and with Judy Austin and taunting May Edochie. He has finally found out that all that did not work for him. Instead, it watered down his brand, watered down his efforts. Somebody that was revered before in the past, looked up to, now became somebody that a lot of people are mocking. A lot of people are looking down on because of his actions. He did not really think that his actions would have gone through this way. And because he's a person that is so proud and stubborn, he doesn't want to retrace his steps. Instead, he remains adamant in his folly. I pray that God really helps all the parties involved in this situation and help them to find peace. That's what I hope and I wish for them. Guys, this is where I will end this particular live stream. I hope you did enjoy it. Please drop down your constructive opinions again in the comment section. What do you think about this Emeka Ogwonye? Do you think that he did the right thing? Do you think that he was just trying to run a smear campaign on May Edochie? Drop down all your thoughts, your opinions, and like this video. Subscribe to the channel, share it if you can. Till I see you again in another live stream. Please guys, take care of yourself, love yourself, and I hope that you have a blissful day and good night rest. Bye bye guys.